match and presto, a fashion manifesto. That's why your revolutionary costumes stay rigor. The rhododendrons are hiding spies, the pussy willows have beady eyes. Binoculars in the privet hedge, they peek at you through the...
Okay, the story of Grey Gardens is about a mother and daughter, Edith Bouvier Beale and her daughter, little Edie. Based on real people, starts in the 1940s when the Beales are at the height of their social prominence. In Act 2, we see them at the depths of their social degradation. They've gone from wealth to poverty. But in all of this, these women survive. They are survivors, and the play is a tribute to the survival spirit of human nature. Part of it is because of the fame of the Kennedy family, Jackie Kennedy. These are her aunts. These are her aunts and her cousin. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Anything to do with the Kennedys is interesting. You know, the first act is kind of old-fashioned. The story is chronological. The music is not familiar music, but it's typical of a musical comedy of the 1940s. Act 2, of course, is quite different. It's very introspective, very unusual. The lyrics propel the characterization more so than just reflect the development of the story. There's a lot of humor in it because the characters of Edith and little Edie are very funny people. Their situation may be dramatic or even tragic, but they themselves are very funny. Their observations of the world and their relationships with each other provide a lot of humor. I need two very mature women. It's interesting, one of the women plays the mother in the first act and the daughter in the second act. So she's got to play the same type of characters, but the mother and the daughter rather than the mother at two different stages. The other character plays the mother alone, and this is an elderly woman, a woman supposedly in her 70s and 80s. The father, Major Bouvier, is an excellent role for an older man. He's sort of the dynamic, domineering father. There's Joe Kennedy Jr., a very handsome, young, heroic figure. He's an interesting character who has a romance with young Edie. There is the character of the butler, an African-American gentleman who provides a lot of humor to the piece because of he's sort of on the outside looking in and making sort of comments on this strange family that he works for. Gould, yes. He is a pianist or accompanist of Edith. She thinks she's a singer. But he's kind of a cynical, Noel Coward kind of character. And Jerry. Jerry is a teenage dropout who appears in Act 2, who's supposedly sort of a handyman, but the two women kind of vie for his attention. Oh, the house is extremely important. We see it in Act 1 in its glory. We see it in Act 2 at its depths of ruin. And that sort of parallels the lives of the women, from their height to their depths. I love this show. I saw the documentary years ago and was just fascinated by it. And then one time I was visiting my daughter Julie in New York, and she says, "I've got tickets for Grey Gardens. You want to go?" And I said, "Sure." And I went to see it with Christine Ebersole and was blown away. What a wonderful production. I loved it so much that the next time I went back to New York, I took my wife Linda and I saw it again, and I loved it even more. Since that time, the HBO movie came out with Drew Barrymore and Jessica Lange, which was a different take on it, but the same characters. But it's endlessly fascinating. These two women are just so unique, so unusual, so remarkable, that and they're such independent spirits. Despite the degradation of their lives, they continue to live. They have such vitality. And you just are invigorated by them.
The rhododendrons are hiding spies, the pussy willows have beady eyes. Binoculars in the privet hedge, they peek at you through the window ledge. With style, we're in a revolution, so win that revolution with style.